Okay, I know I hadn't done Columbus. And I knew Columbus would be relatively easy to go over. And yet, there's some interesting names on the board. Their first season, 2000-2001, Ron Tugnut's the starter, Mark Denis the backup. What's interesting about that is, Mark Denis, when he got to Columbus, was supposed to become this big star goalie. It never really quite happens. 2001-2002, it's Tugnut and Denis again. 2002-2003, Mark Denis did play 77 games that year, meaning that no other goalie got into 20 games. And if a goalie doesn't play in 20 games, then they don't get onto the board. 2003-2004, it's Mark Denis again, and Freddie Brathwaite was the backup that year. 05-06, Denis the starter, Pascal Leclerc's the backup. Leclerc was supposed to be this big star goalie, and he was supposed to be the answer in the nets for Columbus, and again, never really quite got there. 06-07, Norena is the starter, Leclerc's the backup. Leclerc gets starter minutes in 07-08. Frederick Norena ends up getting the backup spot. 08-09, Mason. Steve Mason comes in kind of out of nowhere, plays 61 games that year. Nobody else plays the prerequisite 20, and he was fantastic. They get into the playoffs. Everybody loved him, and then it got tarnished quickly. 2009, 2010, and 2010-2011, it's Mason and Guerra, and that was as close to a tandem as you're going to get, other than Tugnut and Denis at the start. No tandem reaches 3 years, so 2 is the max. Mason's your starter in 2011-2012 with Sanford as the backup. Sergei Bobrovsky comes in 2012-2013. Again, he's coming off of what was considered an underwhelming performance with Philly. He's coming off of an underwhelming performance in Philly as their goaltender, but he impresses immediately in Columbus, which means Mason's on his way out of town to go to Philly. 2013-2014, Bobrovsky's the starter, McElhinney's the backup. It is the same tandem in 2014-2015 again. No tandem reaches 3 years. Now, technically, 2015-2016, when you got Bobrovsky and Korpisalo, Korpisalo's been the backup in 2016-2017 and 2017-2018, but he hasn't played 20 games. And I think this is where this system that I'm using kind of bears itself out. A goaltender can put up some really solid stats in 15 games, 10 games. A goalie can put up some really bad stats as well over that period of time. But I think that really, truly, to be seen as a solid backup, I think you need to play 20-plus games. So I don't have a problem with the fact Corpy's not on the board, so I know there's going to be Columbus fans saying, well, wait, we've had the same goalies for 3 years, going on to 4. Yes, but Bobrovsky's played a ton of games. He's the guy. He's the goalie. Denis appears on the board 5 times, Leclerc 3 times, Mason 5 times, Bobrovsky 6 times. All of these goalies have kind of the same thing going for them, which is that this is the new savior for the Columbus net. Denis was supposed to be the guy out of expansion. It didn't really happen. Leclerc, he ended up moving on. It didn't happen for him in Columbus or anywhere else. And Mason, fantastic start, and then it just sort of flamed out. And as of this recording, he doesn't have a job in the NHL, which I find kind of odd because even though he wasn't very good for Winnipeg last year, he wasn't that bad that I thought he shouldn't get a job. Bobrovsky likely gets his 7th year this year unless something crazy happens with Columbus, and I can't see that happening, but it could be his last. So 18-19, we could see Bobrovsky as the only name on the board again. He could play over 60 games, and then the season after, we may get to see whether or not Korpisalo ends up being the starter or if they go in another direction. In total, 11 goalies on the board today for Columbus. So nice, neat, and tidy goaltending history. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.